Welcome again to my blog, everyone. My name's Terrence. Now, does your company porcelain to be a work family? This company culture has been espoused by companies big and small in the maritime industry. But work is not a family, just like how coworkers are not your friends. In this video, I'm going to break down the toxic workplace culture that can be created by the company family facade. Why work is not your family, and the damaging and dangerous side effects of work-family lie. Coworkers are not your friends. They are not your family. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've heard that on board a ship. There is so much wrong with that statement right there, and in this video we're going to unpack it. So, spoiler alert, where work family is a lie and it's just how like in a general coworkers are not your friends. Coworkers are not your family. Now today I'm going to break down why this isn't just a statement that shows no work-life boundaries whatsoever. It can also be the foundation of a toxic workplace and create a downright dangerous foundation of a toxic workplace and a work environment. So if you were here for this rant, tap that like button and maybe get yourself a coffee and let's get into it. Now, to start us off, I have to confess something. Your work as a seafarer might just be exactly like a family when a company says we're like a family here. They may not be lying. What they're omitting from that statement is what kind of family they really are. Now, when you hear the word family, an image immediately springs to mind. It's probably looks something like this: a family who is happy, cohesive, and definitely has a positive and productive relationships with each other. That's exactly what the whole word family at this company thing wants you to think. Your work family is going to be like. However, that might not be the type of family that they are. They might be even a toxic family, or at minimum the slightly dysfunctional, constantly driving you up the wall kind of family. You know, that kind that a lot of people have? So I will give the work family miss this one, because it really comes down to an expectation versus reality thing. And really, they're probably not totally deceptive when they're saying word family, because like many families, the image you see projected outside does not reflect what your experience is going to be in the inside. However, we need to dig deeper into why the work family lie is so damaging and maybe even dangerous. Let's start with the culture that work family promotes. At the top level framing, your coworkers is your family, and the relationships that you have with your company as family has advantages for your company. Why? Because you could do anything for your family. For example, if your sister calls you in a crisis at 2 a.m. in the morning, you are on the phone brainstorming solutions. Okay, for another example, your cousin moving to a new fifth-story building. You're going to be climbing some stairs this weekend. So naturally, if your work family needs help, you're gonna pitch in, right? It doesn't matter that you work in the deck department. The engine team has been slammed, and because we're a work family, we're all rolling up our sleeves and putting extra time to help them get through those cases, have yet another after hours overtime event. Well, it's because your work family needs time together to bond. Getting a little too deep and definitely crossing the personal professional work-life boundaries that you like to have when it comes to conversations with coworkers. Well, family shares, right? And perhaps this does build closeness and camaraderie. Maybe this is even the best thing about working for your company. But that's the best case scenario. And in most cases, this is the lazy way of contriving workplace culture where the culture doesn't exist otherwise. If you think it's real, observe what happens when someone leaves. And put in a pin and that we're coming back to that later. But in the worst case scenario, this work family thing enables toxic behaviors at work. Heck, these toxic behaviors are borrowed from toxic families. For instance, perhaps your work family is constantly encroaching in your work-life boundaries all the time in the name of we're a family here. But this has real implications to your overall wellness job, satisfaction and happiness, or maybe there's a culture of disrespect at work and the work family lie is covering it up. Your coworkers are insulting each and you and it's being explained away by this is just how well work family is. Now at this point you might be thinking, Terrence, that's not so bad. I mean insults happen. Work-life boundaries get stomped. However, the toxic behavior is that work-family life can be much more corrosive than what's just really a bad workplace behavior. For example, I can tell you the number of times that I've heard where a family here used in conjunction with gaslighting in a toxic workplace where bullying and harassment is being excused. We're like a family here. That's just how we are. Oh, it's just a joke. We're like a family here. We just like to have fun. FYI, bullying and harassment, not fun. And it gets even worse. Oh, Ted in the engine department. He hugs everyone. We're a family here. Just like you've read stories about families doing crazy things to cover up bad and even illegal behaviors. You might be even expected to do the same thing for your work family. Oh, I'm sure Ted didn't mean anything at the happy hour. You're just misreading the situation. How much did you have to drink? Maybe it's not going that far. I sincerely hope it is not going that far for you. But across all levels of work-family toxic behaviors, there is one thing that is very consistent, and it's probably true for you, if you made it this far in this video. If you're in a work setting where coworkers are family or they're pretending to be, if you aren't part of that work family, you are being marginalized at work. You don't fit in with the work family. And maybe because of it, your coworkers don't even like you, or you're not being seen as a team player. And this can have a really big impact not just on your job satisfaction, but also in your performance reviews, your career trajectory, and most importantly, even your confidence at work can be impacted by this. If you feel like you don't fit in, if you're in a highly political environment, dealing with a work family when you're being shamed or judged for not fitting in with the work family, or being targeted in a workplace gossip, or maybe you're even being sabotaged at work by your so-called work family, it can really make you question if you're good enough to do the job that you do. You lose sight of all the opportunities around you. If there is a situation that you have found yourself in, you need to get clear on your awesomeness and confident AF. Now, this brings me to the final point, and the marginalization and the dysfunction of the work family is punctuated by this final point. Families don't have favorites. They don't give different amounts of money or inheritance. And it's a big problem if they do. And they certainly don't fire each other. Well, at least families that aren't toxic as I know of. Your coworkers are not your family because there is a contingency built into that relationship. The fact that you work together, and in most cases if you quit your job or otherwise leave the company, those relationships are going to fade. Sure, not all cases. Maybe you do have coworkers who become true friends or even coworkers who become your chosen family. But one of the things that the work family culture demands of you is loyalty, and you're not getting it in return. After all, business is business, it is not personal, which is the ultimate contradiction of the work family facade. Much of your job is not personal. At least it's not supposed to be. If you don't get paid to lead a job order, it's not personal. The company's revenue is down and they don't give you that raise, that's not personal either. Or they don't have sufficient revenue and they have to make some difficult decisions and you get laid off. Well, that's not personal either, right? How are you supposed to take that personally when they've been pretending to be your work family the whole time? Now, if you are in cab with your coworkers that treat you like family, then it is a good thing and it is serving you well. And it's a positive and even productive. No judgments. You did good, my friends. And at this point, you might be realizing that not only are coworkers not your family, but you might be in a toxic workplace environment. So I guess that will be all the things that I have to say for now, that coworkers are not your family. So I hope this is informative on the facts about shift workplace environment, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and it really helps my channel. And as always, this is Terrence. Have a great day everyone and thank you for listening. Bye bye!